Well, that was a lot of information compared with the first bunch of chapters, wasn't it? You know, we can talk and guess and hypothesize all day long about how the Big Bang could have happened and the magical mechanisms that somehow got it going 14 billion years ago. But when we look at real observational science and we look with our own eyes at things like planets and moons and galaxies, all these things have characteristics that they really shouldn't have if they're billions of years old. You know, in the book I talk specifically about Saturn and Pluto, but you can say this about any planet in our solar system, really. Our own good Earth, for instance. You know, we've got a magnetic field, which is great, because without it, we'd all be dead. But our magnetic field is getting weaker over time. You know, just the last 180 years, it's gotten about 10% weaker. So if the Earth really is billions of years old, the magnetic field should not still be here. Not at that rate. And it's not just planets. You know, most of the planets in our solar system have moons. Specifically, Saturn's moon Enceladus and Neptune's moon Triton. These are small worlds. And these little worlds are erupting just enormous quantities of water and ammonia and other volatile materials out into space at just crazy rates of speed. You know, if they've been doing this for billions of years, they should have long since run dry. And it's not just our solar system either. You know, the deeper we look in space, we see the same thing. You know, when you look at distant galaxies, they don't look the way they should if they're really billions of years old. So they had to invent dark matter. And their motion in space makes absolutely no sense. So they had to invent dark energy. And the universe, its temperatures are just way too even. So they had to invent inflation. In other words, when we look out into space and just make very straightforward observations about what's there, they don't line up with what we'd expect to see if the Big Bang and its billions of years of time are true. And these are exciting times in astronomy because a growing number of astrophysicists are starting to realize this. I'd like to continue with some excerpts from a document called Bucking the Big Bang. It came out in New Scientist magazine a while back, and it's authored by 33 leading secular scientists. And among other things, they had this to say. The Big Bang today relies on a growing number of hypothetical entities. Things that we have never observed. Inflation, dark matter, and dark energy are the most prominent examples. Without them, there would be a fatal contradiction between the observations made by astronomers and the predictions of the Big Bang theory. But the Big Bang can't survive without these fudge factors. Without the hypothetical inflation field, the Big Bang does not predict the smooth isotropic background radiation that is observed, because there'd be no way for parts of the universe that are now more than a few degrees away in the sky to come to the same temperature and thus emit the same amount of microwave radiation. It goes on. In no other field of physics would this continual recourse to new hypothetical objects be accepted as a way of bridging the gap between theory and observation. It would at the least raise serious questions about the validity of the underlying theory. What is more, the Big Bang theory can boast of no quantitative predictions that have subsequently been validated by observation. The successes claimed by the theory's supporters consist of its ability to retrospectively fit observations with a steadily increasing array of adjustable parameters. Whew. And I mean, that's the secular scientific community right there, you know? To believe in the Big Bang is really to take a rather messy philosophical position here. It's not something that the evidence overwhelmingly points to, as many would have us believe. Instead, when we actually observe our planet, solar system, galaxy, and universe, we see the exact things we'd expect to see if they were made in the recent past by a God who loves us and cares for us. It really is true, folks. The heavens declare the glory of God.